How's it going, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we're back on the scooter yet again. We are so close to getting this done, and I can't wait, and I'm getting antsy, so we're gonna go ahead and jump right back on it. So let us get into what we're gonna be doing. So guys, welcome to the channel. So today we are going to be back on our SYM scooter build. We are going to be buttoning everything up. I'm getting a little antsy because all the parts are here. There's really no point in waiting. We can go ahead and get it. We only missing one part. It's a little crucial, but we could still do everything and get it going. And if we got to the point where we just wanted to go ahead and run and start it, we can and replace that part later. So it's still not a problem. So right now, we're going to go ahead and button everything back, and let me show you what we've done so far. Okay, guys, so I got a little antsy and started putting stuff back together. I did this off the camera, so I mentioned that I was going to be taking this apart and checking the ejectors and everything, and they're clean, they're good, everything is good to go. So hopefully nothing is clogged. I didn't see anything clogged, and if it looked like it was clogged, I blew it out, and it looked pretty good. So we put those back together, and then we also replaced the bottom ends of the bolts. So here, let me come to the table here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where did I put you at? So right here, if I can zoom, if it zooms in. So basically it's just this, it's these little screws. This one got a little mangled. This one was my worst one because I had to cut it. It would not come out, it was stuck. I don't know why. Yet again, people like to torque these things down. They don't need to be torqued. It could have just been old, but we pretty much replaced these with some same length, same size. I think it was an M4.07 bolt I got from Ace Hardware. Thanks to Ace Hardware. So I got some Allen bolt ones. So now we don't have to worry about these breaking because these started stripping on me, and I barely got the other two out with no problem, but this one took the big hit. I had to use my little mini die grinder thingy to cut it and get a nice good flat, and then once I did, use my flathead screwdriver, and it came out. So I decided to go ahead and replace these because if I didn't, then these were gonna strip again, and then we would have a problem. So I went on ahead and replaced these with hex head screws. So I replaced them with hex head screws. So with the little square type, so that way it'd be a little bit more easier. So basically, I replaced it with this type of end, the little hex head bolt. So it's pretty much like this, but a miniature version. I pretty much replaced it with that because these are a lot more better. And even if they get stuck, the tool that I have fits them nice and perfect, and they're not going to strip. And I got them somewhat snug, but not super tight as they were. So these are gone and replaced. I can't show you to you because they've already been installed. So we got that. So we got our new thermostat. We got to install that. We can go ahead and install that today. And we got our new spark plugs. So I had to do some more research on the spark plugs because I had a problem with the spark plugs, and we can come back to the tape to the bench here so I could show you exactly what it was. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I had. So I had these Champion spark plugs. So when I first got the bike, this is the plug I got because the other one wasn't there. So I needed to get a spark plug, and I'm not for sure how I pulled this up. I think I just researched it, and this is the one I thought was supposed to be it. It fit, so I didn't think it was any problem. The problem is this one's short. This is the same kind of spark plug that would go in my 50cc scooter. So I thought it was fine, but the problem is that this is too short. So this one was a if you could see it, this one was a 808 Z9Y. If it'll clear it back up again, you see 808 Z95. This was wrong. So I did some more research. I went online and downloaded the digital manual for this bike, And when I did that, which was really helpful, it helped me do my torque, it helped me do my lashing and everything. I found the spark plug. So as you can see, this is a lot bigger, not only in diameter, not the diameter part, but the thread. See how bigger that is? This is actually nice and flush in the cavity for um the valves. So when the piston finally comes up, this is actually going to be nice and perfect. So when it all meshes together, we won't have a problem with this breaking, because that was the issue that the owner had told me. The reason why the valves got bent and everything was because someone had put a longer spark plug. I'm assuming it could have been something else, but that was what he told me. But when I put this in the old one that I have out, it's perfect. It's a perfect fit. This one was too far in the spark plug cavity. So if I had used this and didn't check, so if I didn't check to make sure that the distance was perfect and I just assumed that that was it, if I would have stuck this in the bike and started it up, I would have a hard time getting it started, because where the hole for it would have been too far away. So basically this was too far in the cavity of the spark plug tube to do any igniting. It would have been missed detonation, because this was too short. But this one is perfectly flush in the cavity. So when the valves open and close and the piston kind of meets and ignites, it's going to be a nice perfect cavity. This is going to be nowhere near the valves. It barely comes out of the hole about like that. If it'll focus. Sorry about that. So it barely comes out about like that out of the hole, and it was perfect. Where this one was like, it was like in the hole like that. It was too far. So if this was the opening hole, this was way too far into the cavity. But this one was nice and flush, about like right about there. It was nice and smooth, enough room for it to ignite. The pistons can't get nowhere near this spark plug. So that was a win. And it was perfect, because the guys at O'Reilly's, this is I got this at O'Reilly's, they had the actual spec, but the problem is that my bike is discontinued, so they had to replace it with this. So if you guys are looking, if you got an SYM scooter, or with the same kind of specs, this is the spark plug. This is an Autolite 43003. So it works perfectly, and this is copper, so perfect spark plug. I got two of them, really cheap, $1.99. How can you beat that? So got that taken care of. So this one is obsolete, so we don't need this anymore. This will never get used. So now we got our spark plugs, and then now if we come over to the bench, I'll show you the valve. I mean the thermostat. So we got our thermostat from this company called Good Fittings, because with a little keychain, which will go on the key, which we will put on the key. And then this little baby one was perfect. It's a 80 cc or 80 Celsius. So it fits perfectly in the hole, nice and sealed. This is gonna work. So I got this from eBay. So we actually, you know what? I didn't get this from eBay. I'm sorry. I got this from Amazon. So there's the part number if you need it for your SYM scooter or any other type of scooter that takes one of these little baby thermostats. There it is right there. I got it at Amazon. So now we've done all that, I'm going to show you my other fix. So if you may recall, I had told you that I had did the little thermostat hosey little nipple thing trick. Well, here it is right here. It is nice and dry. It is perfect. This is where this little piece is going to fit right over. So basically, this is just a little plastic nipple tube that's supposed to work on, different kinds of water systems and stuff like that. And then I got some gas, so I tapped it in there and got it nice and tight, water sealed, perfect before I put this on. Then I put some extra thermostat sealing just to make sure that it stays and it doesn't leak. So we should be good on that. But if we ever have an issue with this and this doesn't work or it fails, we're going to have to replace the whole entire cover, which I don't want to do because I can't find but only a used one. So I have to keep that in mind. So we should be able to replace this out if this ever breaks. We just pop it out and pop in a new one and we should be good to go because it's just tapped in there. It's just plastic. So this is a lot easier to get out than metal. So that's good to go and that's ready to button up. Everything is ready to button up, guys. Like, we could literally get this whole entire bike back together. The only thing left that we would have to do is just add fluid. We have to add oil. We have to add coolant. I am going to change the gearing oil in the back. I do have some gearing oil from the 50cc scooter up on my shelf, which is basically, if you come to my shelf right here, there's my, it's a 80 to 90 weight gear oil. I got plenty in there. I only did it one time on the 50cc scooter. So we're going to change that out too. So we're going to change the gear oil. We're going to put in some fresh oil. Then we're going to add in the coolant. So the gas is good. There's no varnish. It doesn't smell. It doesn't clog. I think the gas is good. And I did pour some fuel restore in there a while ago, maybe about a month ago. So that should give it a little extra. And if anything, we have to pour some seafoam in it to kind of help build it up. We can, or we can just drop the tank and find a way to extract the gas, put some new one in there, and we should be good to go. But I think we're okay on the gas. We could use that, run it down, then pour some fresh fluid in there with some additive. We should be good to go. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing back buttoned up. Okay guys, so now we're going to get this thermostat back in. So we got our cap here. We got to put that back in. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get our tools ready. All right, set this here for a sec. All right. Now we're going to get out our baby thermostat here. All right, so really quite simple. We got to take these bolts off first before we start going crazy with it. And before we get going, I just need to check something really quick. Okay, that's not on there, so let's go and grab. So we need to grab, before we finish bolting, we need to put a coupling back on here. I think I misplaced the one that I had, but it's okay. We got some stuff, so we'll go ahead and install the thermostat. So it goes in just like that, no problem. So go ahead and move this out the way, get it bolted. We're gonna put our bolts in. Get this nut going in. This is 8mm. All right, here's one, and here's the other. All right, take our wrench, go ahead and tighten everything up. Probably should get a little baby one. Hold on. Let's see if our wrench here will do the trick. Should. Yeah, this should do it. Grab our opening wrench. You don't need to tighten these super tight. People forget that part. These things are aluminum, they're not, or cast pieces. They don't need to be that crazy tight. So you over tight, you super tighten them, and then you start breaking stuff. So just be mindful of that when you're doing it. It does not have to be that tight. Just enough, and then you're good. That didn't break, I just slipped. So don't freak out. Alright, so that's in. I thought I had my, oh, here it is. It's right here. Alright, so here's our clamp. That's supposed to go on this piece here. So that's perfect. So before we get this on, let's put this on here the right way. Alright. Now we can go ahead and put our hose in. Let's get this thing out of our way here. There we go. And ever so gently get it on there. Boom. Take our hose, clamp, get it where we need it, and then tighten it up. All right, that's one. So, okay, maybe I might have overstepped my steps. See, that goes there, there. Right, let me get down there and we'll be good. Okay, guys, so we are good now. I had to reroute this pipe. I had it pulled up because it was leaking at the time. You know, we pulled it off while the fluid was coming out. So I pulled it up, and I guess when the motor was out, it was up here when it should have been down up under here. So it's where the pump, it's where the actual water pump goes. So it's where the water pump comes out and goes back to the radiator. So we got it in there. Nevertheless, we got it in there. That's one. Then the other thing I need to do is I gotta put this ground wire on, and that goes on one of these covers. Looks like. So what we're gonna do is take this nut off here on the top. Just like it's something for the ground to go to. So we'll take this off, no problem. Take this screw out, put this in its place, and then put it right back in. Just like that. Do a little move tight. Boom, there we go. We got one ground wire in, and then the rest should just connect. So now we have to do now is we have to find all the wires that are disconnected and reconnect them. Don't miss on one. So there's this hose here that I'm going to go ahead and clamp on. This is for the cover, for the timing cover. I guess this is to take some of the pressure. So we're gonna get that back on. Gonna grab our pliers. Okay, we need my long ones. So I'm gonna grab our long pliers here. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm sorry if you can't. So, see if I can get you a light. So we're basically getting this hose back on, which is kind of a doozy because it's a very tight spot. There we go. I heard the snap. So now we have to take our pliers and then ever so gently just squeeze get it down. These old school plier thingies are trip. So let me give it a little bit of hand. Here we go. Getting there. Ow, right on my finger. There we go. All right, got that one on here. And I know it's really hard to see, and I'm really terribly sorry because I don't have a camera mounted on top going across. But there's another pipe that goes on the front cover of the valve cover where the valves were, where I was doing the valve lashing. There's a cover piece that's got to go on there, or another hose. So another you can't see kind of thing. I'm gonna get it on. All right, another squeeze. Oop, too far. All right, now we're on. I think we're on. All right, now we're on. And then now I just gotta get the clamp to get it on there. Squeeze the clamp, push it down. All right, and now that's on there. So now we got everything back on. And I have to figure out the next thing is take the hose. Oh, that might have went to that. I think it did. Because there's another clamp. I think it goes to that red one. And I think that goes to this. So we'll shove this under to the other side. Hopefully I'm not wrong. Look at this cable on this side. Should be long enough to reach. I think that's it. Yep, we'll leave it there for the moment. We won't plug it in just yet until we make sure that that's it, because I don't think that's it. I think we're missing something else. Some other kind of wiring here, because there's a wiring for the thermostat that may go with that. So we'll keep our eyes out. I'm looking for that. Okay, no, okay, that is. Okay, so here it is right here. Here's the thermostat clip. Goes right on top, snaps in place. So this looks like it does go with this. So we'll wait one more time, make sure there's nothing else before we plug that in, but that looks to be about right. So we'll get this clamped in the way. We'll get this down here too. We'll actually get this up under this wire, or this hose here. Then we'll clamp it down like that. Get it in this cavity with this, fold it over out of the way. And there should be a tiny little hose. Oh, I think we're good on that end. There. Oh, this goes here. This hose goes here. And we're taking this off. All right, so that's on there. I'm missing another hose. Oh, that's the coil. I'm missing the hose for this. We'll find it. It's probably staring me in the face. I just don't see it right now. Nope, I don't see anything just yet. All right, we'll come back to that. It was probably laying down over here somewhere. Maybe it went into here. We'll have to figure that out. I think this is right though. Yeah, that's right. That goes in there. That went there. We're just missing a hose somewhere. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna get on this side and button everything up. All right, guys, so we're back. Remember when I said about that hose? I found it. So it was down on the floor by the caliper. So we can go ahead and get this up and out of the way. It comes off of the pump, the water pump. So we're going to plug this in here. All right, snap. It's in. Flush it up against out the way. And then now we're good. So now we got all the hoses and everything back in like it's supposed to. So we're good on that. All right. So now we're good on that. Now we can, let me get this folded, get this throttle cable folded here. I think it actually went the other way for this stuff. Probably, most likely, yeah. That's what it looks like. Okay. All right. So now we're gonna swap sides, and then we're gonna, oh, actually, oops, I'm sorry. I forgot one more thing. We're going to put the starter cable back in here, like so. Take this nut off here. I'm gonna put this right back on top. So this is for the starter. Make sure we get all, I want to make sure I get all this because the fender goes over all this stuff. So let me get my 10 mil. So before I put the flat cover, I want to make sure I get all this back on here. All right, nice and tight. Pull the rubber boot over, done. All right, so that's good. I wonder if I should went over that. Actually, yeah, let's go over that. Let's pull this back off real quick. I went under. Probably should have went over. I think that's right. All right. Yeah, I should have went over, not under. So I don't want that to rub. So we'll pull it back out. And go over. Then right back on top. I don't think it really matters really either way, but I want to make sure I'm putting it on the right way. You know what I mean? So, all right. So now we'll go ahead and get this going. All right. All right, that's on. Make sure we turn it up so it's not in the way of the wheel. All right. That's good. And then we're gonna get on this side here. I was gonna go on this side real quick, but let's finish this side up. So I'm gonna go ahead and clamp this piece, and I think this is it. So just gotta make sure we got some room. All right. All right. That's clamped in place. Should be good. Now let's get on the floor. We're gonna get this on. All right, guys, so now we're gonna plug back in the cables that went up top. So we're gonna bring our box down. Hold on, let me go up top because it's got to go mounting up under. So let me actually get this up and ready. Okay, so we're gonna get our cables. I'm gonna go ahead and plug this. Let's not plug that in the show. Let's get the box down. All right, so here's the box. I think they were 10 mils. Yes, they are. All right, we're gonna take these off. We're gonna go ahead and mount our regulator. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plug these in real quick so that way we don't have to struggle with it later. So I'll plug that in, and then now I'm gonna go ahead and mount it because these actually get tucked up under. So I got one more clip here. Let's get this in. Get that in there. All right, now we got them all clipped. Everything is back and wired up. And we're gonna shove this back up the fender, because that's where it was. And then we're gonna mount our bolts. So, let me get it in the hole first. Alright, get over the fender. Alright, and we got our last bolt. Actually, I just realized something. We don't want to bolt that up just yet. I just thought of that. We need to wrap it. I totally forgot about that because it had a wrap over it and I had to rip it off. I totally forgot about the wrap. All right. We got to wrap this first because there's nothing covering this area, so all the water and stuff, if we were riding in the rain, would be all splashed. So I'm gonna have to take some electrical tape and wrap this all up. So we're gonna leave this hanging for a minute because this had a boot over it and the boot was brittle and broke. So now we need to wrap it. So we're gonna leave this hanging. We're gonna do this last, and then we're going on the other side and finish it up. So let's go to the other side. All right, guys, so now we're gonna do this side. So what we need to do, we need to hook this back up. I think this goes to the air box, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look at the air box. Yeah, this goes into the air box. So we got to put that back in. We'll have to clean this up a little bit before we install it, but that's not a problem. We'll make that the last thing we do. All right, so we got that in. Got that in. There's another cable, which is right here. I see two. Oh, okay, so I was wrong. I was wrong. That was not a cable that goes there. All right, so we'll shove this back over. Good thing I saw that, because that is not a cable for that. So, there's some cables here we have to bring up. All right, so here's our cables. Red goes with the red. Yeah, red goes with the red. And then this black goes with the black. Good thing I noticed that. All right, so now we're good. Take this, shove that up in here, fold it over so it stays in place. Good, good, good. All right, so now, then only thing left we need to do is we need to stick in our spark plug in that tube hole. And then we have this is our, I don't know if you could see it or not, but where my hand is holding, this is the coil that goes right into the spark plug. So we will go and do that next. We'll do that last. We can bring you guys over. Hopefully we can show you guys the hole. But it looks like everything is plugged in. All of the hoses and everything is back in where it's supposed to be, which is awesome. Not for sure where this red one went. I'll do some looking to make sure I didn't miss a clip, but that might have been nothing. So we should be fine. Everything is in. Like I said, this goes for the air box. So we'll clean up the air box, get the air box mounted, and then we can get the cover back on, and then we should be good to go. So let us go ahead and clean up this air box so we can get it back on. All right, guys, so now we're gonna get this cover back on. I know it looks a little dirty, but we'll probably end up taking it off later when we have to replace the belt. So right now what we're trying to do is we're just trying to get everything back on. So that way we can situate ourselves. So we got to replace the belt anyway. It was a little cracking. So hopefully it won't break in our test when we get to that part. But right now I'm going to put the cover back on so that way we can put the air box back on. And this is just a cover, and it's got a O-ring, like a bearing it rides on right here, so it's not going anywhere. So you don't have to cinch it up super tight. Just need to get it firm. Just enough so it won't fall off. Got 2 more bolts, or 1 more bolt. Yep, 1 more bolt. All right, now let me get the cover. This metal screen just goes right there. These gasket pieces are supposed to take these off. These gasket pieces go in this cubby here. And we're going to be taking this off anyway to replace the belt, so it's not a big problem. Not a big problem. All right. So now we put our cover back on. Alright, getting our cover pieces on. Bolt here, one here in the back. Alright, go ahead and start cinching them up. Oops. All right. Alrighty. One more bolt. Alright, and then the last one is on this back end here. Just needs a little guidance getting in the hole. There we go. All right, we are good to go. Sorry, I just want to clean this bottom up. I saw some stuff I wanted to clean off. Get some of this oil residue. We're going to detail this a little bit more better anyway once we get it all, once it gets running and everything. We're going to detail this up a lot more better. Hopefully it'll come out and work too. So, but it is a little dirty, but we're good. Okay guys, so we got the air box back in, got it bolted. It's all good, all nice and bolted up. Everything is in. Sorry I couldn't show it to you. My camera went off, I didn't realize it. But all right, so now we're gonna take this hose here. It's gonna go right in here. Just like that. Take our clip. Boom, right there. Then we gotta take this. This just rolls over, supposedly. It's got this spring in there. All right, and then we're in. Literally everything is now in. The only last thing we need to do is put the exhaust on, fluids, and then we're good. So we are good to go. Guys, so we are good. We got everything bolted, clipped, locked into place. Still haven't figured out what that is, but maybe it's just nothing. We got to put the last thing we got to do is put the fender on, which is these 2 bolts. And then the last thing is we need to get some electrical tape wrapped around the regulator and the wires. We should be good. Put the exhaust back on. Everything should be good. Spark plug, everything, the fluids. Then we be able to turn this. But guys, this is so good. This looks so amazing. Everything. All right, guys. So we are good. We went ahead to everything off camera, so I apologize. Just kind of got into it. So we got the fenders back on, and we got everything all bolted in. This wire here, I don't know what that goes to. Maybe it was like a heater thing. I'm not quite for sure, but I don't see anything that's missing, so we're okay. We did get the power inverter back on there, the regulator, and as you see here, we taped it with some electrical tape. That should hold it, because we're not going to ride this in the rain. Hopefully we won't get caught in the rain, but we should be okay. So everything is good to go. The only thing left that we have not put in is we have not put in the spark plug, because there's the coil sitting right there, and we have not put the exhaust back on. So that's the last little bits that we got to do. Is we basically got to do the spark plug, the muffler, and then we can oil this thing up. So we're pretty much good to go. Everything looks super amazing. Everything's back together. Everything is where it needs to be, in its place, back where it should be when we first started. So we are looking super good. The only thing left is to put the battery in, but that'll be the very last thing before we start to turnkey. So we should be good to go. Well, guys, that is it. We are pretty much going to stop right there. We are going to wait, and in the next episode, we are going to be putting on the rest of the stuff. We're going to be putting on the spark plug, the exhaust, and we will go ahead and start changing out the fluid in the diff, fill that up, put the oil in there, and the radiator fluid. And then after that, once we get all that taken care of after the radiator fluid goes in, we can actually put the battery on and start turning key. So I am super, super excited about that. So I hope you guys are too. It's been a long time coming. Like I said, we started back in December of 2023, and we are now in February, so 2024. So this has definitely come a long way in a short time, and I'm super happy to get this close to getting ready to turn key and start this thing and ready for the bike season. So I hope that you guys are too as well. And if you guys like this stuff, please go down in the comment, let me know what you think of the build so far, and then what do you like about it. And if you got any helpful tips and pointers on this, that'd be helpful as well. But guys, thank you so much for watching. You guys have a good and blessed day, and I'm gonna see you on the next fix. Until then, peace.